The pace of exports of corn and soybeans from the United States, well, it's running fast, and corn shipments are 30% ahead of last year, and two-thirds of the expected total for the marketing year has already been booked. Soybeans are in a similar situation as it pertains to the export commitments that are 25% bigger than a year ago and 85% booked. However, that quick pace doesn't mean much, says University of Illinois ag economist Darrell Good.
Over the previous 10 years, corn exports during the first quarter of the marketing year averaged 26% of the total for the year, but that first quarter performance ranged from 22 to 30% of the total. The pattern of sales for corn was even more varied, with export sales at the end of the first quarter of the year averaging 49% of the total exports for the year, but ranging from 36 to 66%.
A similar scattered pattern exists for soybean exports. However, Good admits this year's commitments, or bushels booked and not shipped for both commodities, is unusually large relative to USDA's September export forecast.
With a very large corn crop, U.S. corn exports may well exceed the current projection. Larger exports would in turn result in smaller year-ending stocks than would otherwise occur, but probably would not result in higher corn prices.
This is because the increase in corn exports likely depends on a decrease in the price of corn. The story for soybeans, well, that one's different, says Darrell Good.
For soybeans, exports to exceed the current projection would require the U.S. crop to exceed the current forecast. That's because year-ending stocks are already projected to be very small. As a result, there is some chance that soybean prices will have to remain high enough to limit consumption in the face of strong export demand.
USDA will update the export picture for corn and soybeans this Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time with the release of the World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates, or WASDE report. For University of Illinois Extension, I'm Todd Gleason.